Hey there, this is Dawn Grant. Welcome to Perfect Putting Mental Training. I'm your mental trainer and hypnotherapist, so I'm here to help you and to assist you in feeling better about your putting, to recognize the mental concepts behind what is causing you to experience some frustration or some agitation with the putting part of your golf game. So this mental training session is meant to increase your awareness of some mental concepts, to educate you and to teach you and to coach you in implementing some concepts that will help you to get a better idea of how your thoughts and how your mind affect your putting and your golf game. So we're going to be able to look at some very specific details, and hopefully what you'll be able to do is to take that information with you out into life and out into the golf course. And some very specific techniques, mindsets, suggestions, skills, and tools that will help you to implement some positive change. And not short-term change, we're talking about long-term change. And that's exactly why you purchase this product. So being able to feel like you can overcome this challenge in your life, whether you feel as if you're just plain and simply putting not very well, whether you feel like you probably are putting all right, but you can't get past some of your perceptions or fears about putting, or even expectations that as you're approaching the green that you're not going to be able to pull it off. Wherever you're coming from, there's a lot of different struggles that people experience in a lot of different ways pertaining to their putting, and all of us are unique. So I'm never going to ever kind of put you in a box and say this is what you're experiencing. You're going to know that better than me. So what I'm going to do is teach you some really basic generic skills and tools that are going to help you to make some changes in this aspect of your life. Now what I want you to do first of all is to pause the video, make sure that you have a pen. So you're going to go gather up a pen, you're going to gather up the provided suggestion, self-suggestion page, and you're going to gather up either a journal and or the life worksheet that's been provided for you. So go ahead and pause the video. Okay, and then welcome back. We're ready to get started to help you to look at this perfect putting and to make some positive changes in your mindset pertaining to that. So let's define first of all what is going to be considered perfect putting for you. Now again, everybody's different. You're going to know this a lot better than me, what your specific struggles have been, what your specific mindsets have been, what's been holding you back, what specific challenges that you've been faced with. So I'm going to take you through a series of exercises that will help you to identify your particular situation, and then also teach you some skills so that you can change those. So first of all, let's define what makes a good putt, or I should say what's going to convince you that you're putting well. What you're looking for. You're likely looking for confidence in your putting. You're likely looking to feel confident in every putt and every approach to the putt as you're approaching the green, and in your ability to execute that putt with ease. You want to feel like you can approach the green and instinctively examine the green and the area all around the green, and to feel like you can trust yourself in your ability to assess that information and have the attention to the details so that you can then confidently and with ease execute a putt. I'm sure that's one of the things that you're looking for, and I'm almost could guarantee that that's not one of the things that you have been feeling, or else you probably wouldn't have purchased this product. I'm pretty confident that you would like to feel like your ability to practice the putts and how well you're doing during practice, you'd like to be able to carry that over onto the golf course whenever you are playing with others, or whenever you are in a tournament or playing with friends. So Are you confident in your grip? Are you confident in your stance? Are you confident in your ability to read the line? Do you feel like you can pick a target and feel confident and trust yourself in your ability to choose that target? Do you feel like that you keep your eyes on the ball? Do you feel like you are able to have an even pace from pulling back all the way through? These are things that we're going to look at. And first of all, you have to start to recognize that it's very unlikely that any of your self-talk has been similar to some of the things that I've just said to you. So referring to your self-suggestion page, ideally, you will be speaking to yourself in your mind, in your thoughts, these types of suggestions every day from now on. Now, they're going to contradict some of the things that you've been saying to yourself up till now. And that's what we want to do. We want to challenge those old thoughts. We want to challenge the repetitive negative thoughts that you've been stating to yourself, either thinking them in your mind or speaking them in conversations with friends or fellow golfers, or even other people that have tried to help you, or golf instructors. What you want to do is start catching yourself with those types of negative thoughts and start to gather evidence and proof and start to affirm and replace those negative types of perceptions with these types. Now, you can write your own as well, but what I'd like for you to do is to post this self-suggestion page in a spot where you can look at it every day, whether that is in the mirror in your bathroom, whether you want to put it on your nightstand so that before you get out of bed you can take a look at it, or put it in your briefcase or at your desk, or in the kitchen or at the kitchen table when you're eating breakfast. You can read this instead of the newspaper. So we want to post this self-suggestion page and take a look at it every single day, so that you're teaching yourself, you're training yourself, you're coaching yourself to reverse some of the old ways of thinking about your putting and start to apply and perceive yourself in the manner that is addressed on this page. Now, I've also provided for you a pocket size mini suggestion, and the intention behind that is that you'll take it with you when you leave your house, or when you go out on the golf course, when you're practicing, when you sit down and have lunch. Pull it out and reaffirm for yourself some of these things that you're working on. Now, the more often that you remind yourself of these positive types of statements, the easier it'll get each day to be able to recognize when you're not speaking in that manner. It'll get easier each day to recognize when you have limiting types of perceptions or thoughts that are holding you back from being able to move forward in this aspect of your life and in your putting. So bring that little pocket-sized mini suggestion with you and refer to it throughout the day, or at least refer to it at lunch, so in the middle of the day. So take this time to go ahead and think about, is it you that really wants to make some changes pertaining to your putting? Because any time that a person is wanting to make some changes, the desire to change has to come from you. It has to be something that you want. In order for the change to be permanent, long-term, and effective, it has to come from a desire within you to make some changes. It can't be because somebody else is telling you to work on your putting. Now, that's not to say that you don't have golf instructor or friends or whoever that have said, hey, why don't you take a look at this part of your putting? I'm not saying to rule that out. What I'm saying is, yes, take in that information. Take in those suggestions from experts or friends and recognize that it is time for you to work on this. But you have to feel like you're doing it for yourself. You have to feel like that the motivation and the desire to address your putting is coming from within you. That as you work on this, because there's always challenges that come along with making any kind of change. And you want to feel strong enough from within you to stick it out, to make it through those challenges, to feel committed to making some change. So anytime that you have negative thoughts about your putting coming in, anytime that you're approaching a green, whether you're practicing or having fun with friends or in a tournament, you want to feel like you have the awareness within you and the desire within you to make some positive changes to those old ways of thinking and perceiving and viewing yourself. So if this all sounds good to you and you're ready to go ahead and get there in your life, to be a better putter, to be able to perfect your putting, what I want you to do now is to start to look at what you're up against. These would be your subconscious influences. Now, as you know from the pre-talk, your subconscious mind's that deeper level of the mind. It's where the real you exists. All of your memories, all of your experiences, everything that you've been experiencing in life. And obviously you have lots of putting experiences at the subconscious level of your mind. You also have lots of mindsets, thoughts, perceptions, belief systems about your putting that's at the subconscious level of your mind. These are there through repetition, through circumstances and events. When you've left the golf course and you've told yourself, gosh, I'm not a very good putter, or I keep putting poorly, or every time I'm under pressure I just can't seem to putt well. Those types of things that you've come to believe and experience and come to even expect are at the subconscious level of your mind. Now, the conscious level of your mind was more on the surface. This is the part of your mind that's focused into what I'm saying to you right now, and it's trying to analyze it and think about it. Now, through repetition at the conscious level of your mind, things do go into the subconscious level. That's when something becomes more automatic. It's like driving a car. When you first learned how to drive a car, it was very conscious. It was at the conscious level of your mind. You're focusing on every detail. And then after a while it becomes old hat and it goes into the subconscious level of your mind. Well, your putting's done the same thing, and so has lots of aspects of your golf game. So know that the conscious level of your mind, whatever you repeat here, goes down into your subconscious. Well, unfortunately, every time that you've thought something negative about your putting, your ability to perform under pressure, your ability to putt in certain situations, or every time you think a certain way when you're walking up to a green, you repeat, and it goes down into your subconscious mind. So think about that for a moment. What is in the subconscious level of your mind pertaining to your putting? What have you been repeating? And that's what is important to look at, these subconscious influences. Now, to really psych you up, to really get you ready to make some changes, what I'd like for you to do is to think back again to how you are ready to end those old ways of thinking, how you are motivated now to be done with some of that subconscious programming that has been repeated and has found its way into your subconscious mind. So think about 7 motivations, reasons why for you that you would like to make some positive changes in your mindsets and your expectations, your beliefs, and in your putting. So all of that pertaining to your putting, but how you would like to experience yourself differently pertaining to your putting. And what I'd like for you to do is to go ahead again and pause the video, and you're going to go to your Perfect Putting Life worksheet, and I've given you a spot there where you can write down 7 reasons or motivations, reasons why you would like to make a change in your putting or your mindset pertaining to your putting. So go ahead and pause the video, and then I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, so again, welcome back. I hope that you were able to find at least 7 motivations or reasons why that you would like to make some positive changes with your putting. And I hope that you're feeling a bit of a different energy change, a shift in how you're a bit more pumped up and definitely very motivated to put an end to those old ways of thinking and to address those right now. So now that you have these motivations, that's another thing to look at is, maybe you could look at this life worksheet every day. each morning to feel that motivation again, and that reason to remind yourself of the reasons why you're looking to make some positive changes, so that it's a priority in your life. It's something that you're ready to really focus on. And with all of the work that I help people with, you want to know that these techniques, these skills, they're going to help you in all aspects of life. They're not just going to help you with your putting. So as you start to recognize the power of your thoughts, the power of your intentions, your attitude, and how it affects your playing and your putting, as you start to learn these concepts, you're going to see that you can apply them to a lot of different things in your life. So you want to be open to that. Okay, so going back then to you and some of your subconscious influences that have been negative, some of the repeated negative thoughts, and they probably came up a little bit whenever you were writing down your 7 motivations, or they probably have been floating through your mind as I've been speaking to you, or whenever I read off some of the positive suggestions to you earlier. You probably had this little voice in your head that was like, oh, I don't believe that, or I couldn't do that, or I definitely don't think that way. Or when I've given you a few of the examples of some negative ways of perceiving putting, maybe you felt familiar. You recognize that you've had some of those. So again, pause the video, and what I'd like for you to do is, going back to your life worksheet, brainstorm for a moment and then write down 7 limiting thoughts, negative perceptions, negative expectations that you have pertaining to your putting. And then I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, so again, welcome back. I hope that you feel like you're really delving in there deep and getting a really good idea of what's been going on within the subconscious level of your mind, the things that you've been repeating over the years, the things that you've come to expect about your putting, the ways that you perceive your ability to putt or your inability to putt. And you want to look at those, and you want to be very conscientious of those over the next few weeks, but definitely over the next few years and every day the rest of your life. These concepts should carry with you every single time that you're putting. You want to recognize, what am I saying to myself? So as far as your conscious influence, you want to know that you have about 60,000 thoughts a day. Every human being does. And most of those thoughts are the same ones that you had yesterday. And unfortunately, most of them are negative. So again, what have you been repeating? Not only what have you come to believe so that it's an expectation that comes up as you're approaching the green, but what are you repeating to yourself when you're out there over and over again? What are you repeating to your friends, to fellow golfers? What are you repeating in the locker room? What are you choosing to focus on in your life? We have a choice as to what we choose. We have a choice of what we choose to focus on. And throughout the day, you want to recognize that you can either choose to focus on negative limiting thoughts pertaining to your putting. I can't do it, or I putted really bad today. I'm not good at short putts. I'm not good at long putts. However, whatever you've been saying to yourself, you want to now start to learn from that kind of self-talk. You want to start looking at it, seeing it for what it is, and throughout the day, catch yourself making those kind of statements, put an end to them, challenge them. Look at it. Is that really true? Is that really 100% factual? Can I really say without a doubt that that is absolutely, positively true? Whatever the statement is. And if the answer is no, if you can't say it just unconditionally, then you want to start to challenge that thought. You want to look at, does this thought, is it benefiting me in any way? If I keep repeating this, is it going to get me what I want in my life? And if it's negative, I can tell you right now it's not going to. You have much better chance of getting what you desire for yourself if you start to focus on the good in yourself and your life and your putting and in where you're going and also where you've been. So you want to challenge those thoughts, and you want to put a stop to them from now on. And what you can do is then start to reinforce some more positive ways of viewing yourself and your putting. And the self-suggestion page is going to give you a ton of ideas and suggestions on how to do that. So refer to that as often as you need to, and definitely refer to the little pocket suggestions, because this is the training that you're going to be implementing every single day to start to turn around that negative way of viewing yourself and your putting, and to start to implement a more positive mindset and ways of knowing what to even look for, so that you can gather evidence to help to build the confidence within you and your ability to putt well. Allow any kind of negative thoughts to feel like motivation to change. Anytime throughout the day that you have any of those negative thoughts, feel like, you know what, I've had enough. I'm not going to continue to create this for myself. I'm not going to continue to move my life in that direction. I've had enough. And then experience that motivation to have a healthier mindset. And then now you've got some skills and some tools to start to implement that in your life, to turn it around and to start to focus on some healthier ways of viewing yourself and your putting. You know, there's so many hundreds of things that make a good putt. So if you walk away from a hole where maybe the ball didn't go in on the first putt or the second putt, and you're walking away from that hole, you know, you used to have a tendency to think really poorly about yourself or your putting in that moment. And what I want you to do is to put a stop to that, take a moment, and of those hundreds of things that make a good putt, go ahead and focus on a few of them, maybe 3, maybe 5. This is what I mean about training yourself. You don't have to say I'm a bad putter at that moment. You can stop and say, hey, you know what? I was really calm and I trusted myself that time. You could say something like, I felt like I was confident in my ability to read the line. You could feel something like my stroke was even paced and I felt really good about it all the way through. There's so many different things that you can focus on, and what I'm telling you to do right now is to deliberately start to focus on the more positive aspects of your putting and create a mental shift, to have an awareness within yourself of who you are, what you desire, to experience the motivation within you to change, to understand your subconscious mind and your conscious influences, to be able to apply the self-suggestions that I've given to you and any others that you want to create. And if you create your own, always make them positive present tense. And that you are taking control now of your life. You're taking action. You're ready to deliberately shift your conscious thought and to feel like that you don't have to be a victim of your thoughts anymore. You don't have to feel like, I can't change this. You are more in control than you realize. So you're taking action in your life. And what's most important anytime with suggestions is, yes, some of them may feel far-reached or not really true for you right now, but look at them as if they're goals. Look at them as if, you know, some of them I can believe right now, but I know that if I repeat others, I'll start to believe them more and more, and I can start to see evidence of that in my life. And as you're doing all that, what's most important is to come back into your present day and to feel really good about where you are right now. To feel like, I accept where I am now in my life. I accept my putting for exactly what it is right now. I feel really good about how far I've come along in my golf game, and I can see even how far along I've come with my putting. This is another way of shifting your mindset. To feel good about yourself, to know that you are continuing to evolve and to grow, that you are gaining more and more information about you, your life, and your putting every single day. So recognize your uniqueness, recognize the fact that you are evolving and growing, and that you're learning through these processes. And applying mental skills to your life is just as important, or is extremely important, because it really applies to everything in your life. But what I want you to know is it takes training, just like if you were to learn a new swing. You know that if you have a golf instructor teaching you a new swing, that you have to practice that every day. And you have to be very conscientious of the different changes. And that's what I'm telling you to do right now with the mental aspect of your game. You have to practice it every day, every moment if you can. Bring these skills into your day-to-day life and repeat and repeat and repeat and know that you are working on a new skill, and that you are evolving in that, and you're gaining more and more understanding and education each step of the way. Use your self-suggestion to help you to get to where you'd like to be, and then come back into the present moment and enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy your life now for what it is, and see how far along you've come in your putting. You have to feel like you can pat yourself on the back. So having a perfect balance, an appreciation for where you are right now, how far along you've come in your putting, and then also have those goals and desires and the suggestions to help you to move in a healthier direction for yourself, where you're thinking more positive about yourself, and where you're becoming more and more successful in your putting. So you're moving along, you're evolving forward, but you feel good about where you've been. So I want to thank you for purchasing this product. I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to help you. The specific tools that I'm offering you here is, you want to watch this mental training video at least once, but watch it as many times as you need to as a reminder of some of this stuff. Refer back to your life worksheet. It's going to be very important to keep you motivated and to kind of educate you each day on where you're going and where you've been. Read through the self-suggestion page, post it, and read through it at least once a day before you step out into your day. Listen to the hypnosis audio in the morning or before you go out onto the golf course. Set intentions to apply these concepts and these mental skills throughout the day and throughout your time on the golf course and with your putting. Carry those pocket self-suggestions with you so that you can also refer to those throughout the day. And before you go to sleep at night, feel really good about how far you've come. Going way back to when you first picked up a putter. See how far you have truly come. Feel good about it. Give yourself those pats on the back, but also feel good about the implementation that you are doing of these new skills and the mindsets, and actually watch as your putting does increase and get better and better every single day. So feel good about yourself as you lie your head down on the pillow at night. Now visit my website, dawngrant.com, and bookmark the page and keep coming back, because I'm going to be adding more and more products, 50 plus golf related products, tools for change that will probably interest you, along with lots of health and wellness products. They're downloadable video mental training products and hypnosis products on every topic imaginable. So again, I'm Dawn Grant. Thank you for trusting me to help you. You are truly a valued client and customer. I'm really excited for you, and I'm glad to have had the opportunity to assist you.